Hi, and welcome to class. Today on Tech Tip Tuesdays, what we're going to talk about is those darn fine tuners that simply won't turn on you. Do you know what I'm talking about? You've been screwing them, they've got plenty of thread left, but you can't get the thing to move in or out. Let's look at why. There's really only two reasons. The first reason is rosin. What happens as we're playing the instrument, the rosin dust is coming off and getting all of our instrument, right? It also gets into the threads of that screw, and we just need to get that thing broken, the rosin broken out of there enough and the screw out of there, and then clean that rosin out, and then all of a sudden the thing's going to work great for you. The other reason is that the screw ends up bending. Let's show you both. So what we've got is on the fine tuner itself, we've got this screw here that simply won't, no matter what we try to do, won't turn. So what you need to do is grab a pair of pliers. And it doesn't matter what you've got. I have this open-ended, these parallel jaw pliers, fine. Grab a hold of this guy, and I'm going to turn it loose. I'm going to turn it lefty-loosey instead of righty-tighty. I'm going to turn this thing this way to get that thing going. And now we've got that screw broke free. And we should be able to back that out. It's pretty stiff in certain places. But we got that screw out. Now what you do is you grab an old toothbrush. Don't grab your toothbrush, grab somebody else's toothbrush. But take this thing and you can use this to start scraping, brushing the rosin off that. You got to turn that screw around because you're only going to hit about a quarter of it at a time. And most of the time this will work just fine. The other thing you can do is you can take this and run it through a bunch of hot water. Either just drop it in a glass of really hot water, and what that's going to do is it's going to melt that rosin off, and then you can just do the same thing, scrub it loose. The hot tap water works the same, get it nice and warm. It doesn't have to be scalding hot where it's steaming or out, just warm to loosen that rosin up, and then you can do the same thing, take your brush and brush that screw off, and it'll get all that rosin off of there. Now what we've got is this thing ready to go back in. I'm not going to worry about trying to get any of the rosin out of there. Most of it's going to be off of the screw itself. So I'm going to take just a drop of oil and put a little drop of oil inside there. If you drop the screw, it works better. I'm just kidding. It doesn't work better. Don't drop it. You might actually scratch your instrument. And then you're going to fight with the screw to get the thing back in there. There we go. I'm going to screw this guy back in where it hits and we start working for us again. And then we're going to back this out to where it doesn't wobble. You see how this screw kind of wobbles back and forth in the tailpiece just a little bit? I want to go in just a little bit further. It means the screw's not in far enough. There we go. And now I'll tune from there. So we repeat and just do the exact same thing on all four. Now the other thing that could be happening is something could have come and hit this screw and the screw's actually bent over. At that point, the only option you've got is to do the same thing. Grab your pliers, try to back it out, and get the thing to unscrew. You may have to remove the screw next to it in order to give it room to clear because it's not going to be coming straight up. It's going to be swinging around in a big orbit at that point. So you may have to take the next screw out just to give it space, get it out of there, and then usually I'm going to replace the screw because these guys are just too skinny to bend back. You can try it. You can take a parallel jaw pair of pliers like this and squeeze that screw and try to get it to straighten back out from being bent to straighten back out. It might work, but the better option is to replace it. You guys, that's the most straightforward, simple tip that I can offer you, and it is a life changer for a lot of string teachers. Because how much time do you spend working those fine tuner screws? A ton, and when they don't work, not only do your fingers fall off, but it wastes a bunch of time. If you have your student, just take a couple seconds to back those screws out. Take an old toothbrush and a little bit of warm water and brush those things clean and put them back in. Your instrument's going to tune a lot faster, a lot easier. It's going to be easier for the student to tune. It's going to be a lot easier for you to tune. And you're going to save a lot of time in class and get right back to school, right back to teaching instead of tuning. You guys, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the live Zoom session. If you're not here with me live, please go to the repairmasterclass.com, scroll down on the homepage until you see Join Me Live every Tuesday and come and join us. What we'll do next is go answer all the questions that these teachers, just like you, are coming and asking. If you can't join me live, no big deal. Send me an email at steve@repairmasterclass.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you've got in repairing or taking care of and maintaining your instruments. Guys, on YouTube, we'll see you real soon. For those who are on Zoom, let's go answer some questions. Take care.